Hi everybody, this is another special episode of Fun with Maps. I'm your host Dan Hansen, and this is we're going to look at a timeline of maps of something. It's the entire Byzantine Empire, and of course we certainly can't cover the entire Byzantine Empire in an episode of Fun with Maps, but especially the history. But here are a few key points. So. The pharaohs, 3 centuries after the pharaohs of ancient Egypt ended their rule, new African rulers built empires in the northern and eastern regions of that continent, okay? So, it spanned from the Empire of Aksum, which is now in Ethiopia and Eritrea and even Yemen, to the Christian kingdoms of Nubia in what's present-day Sudan. So they had some complex civilizations. They cultivated economic, political, and cultural relationships with one another. And so you had this Byzantine Empire, also referred to as the Eastern Roman Empire. It was basically the continuation of the Roman Empire, centered in Constantinople during Late Antiquity and up through the Middle Ages. So in 293 A.D., the Roman Emperor Diocletian came up with this system called the Tetrarchy to govern the ancient Roman Empire, and they divided it in 4, between 2 emperors, the Augusti, and their junior colleagues. And this is a map of that by the Coppermine Photo Gallery. So it's a historic map of the Roman Empire during the first Tetrarchy, which was established by Diocletian. So let's take a look here. Obviously, this district of Constantius is Caesar. Up here, the British Isles, Britannia, and what's called Gaul, France, all that. This light green here is the district of Maximian as Augustus. So you have what we'd call Switzerland and Italy and Spain and Portugal. And up here in northern Africa, Morocco and Tunisia and Algeria and Libya and all this. And then you got the pink is the district of Galerius as Caesar. So that's in here, the Balkans and Greece, all that. And then this light purple is the district of Diocletian as Augustus. Okay, and that's over here. You got Egypt and getting into the Middle East. Here's Syria, Mesopotamia, Armenia, Turkey, places like that. So that's where the Emperor Diocletian divided things. So during most of its existence, the Byzantine Empire remained the most powerful economic, cultural, and military force in the Mediterranean world. And it's, the term Byzantine Empire itself was only coined following the empire's demise, after it fell. The citizens at the time referred to it as the Roman Empire, and they called themselves Romans. When the imperial seat moved from Rome to Byzantium, and the adoption of state Christianity and the predominance of Greek instead of Latin, modern historians now continue to make a distinction between the earlier Roman Empire and the later Byzantine Empire. So the history of the Byzantine Empire is really defined by the maps and how things have changed along the line. So here's a good map from someone called Akia 3D, Akika 3D. And this is a division of the empire after Theodosius I died in 395. So in green here is the Western Roman Empire. Okay, so all of this is what they call the Western Roman Empire in green. The reddish part here, or pink, or whatever you call it, that's the Byzantine or Eastern Roman Empire. So, of course, this is the Mediterranean here. Here's the north of Africa. Here's the Middle East. Here's south. You can always anchor yourself with the boot of Italy there. So here's another good map. This is by Tataryn, Tataryn. It's the Byzantine Empire in 555 under Justinian the Great. So in 555 A.D., this is when it was at its greatest extent since the fall of the Western Roman Empire. And these little things in pink there are just some vassals. But the Eastern Roman Empire is all this red area here. Okay, so it's got, here's Gibraltar, there's Morocco and Spain and Portugal. Here's Northern Africa, right? Here's Tripoli, modern day Libya, and here's Egypt, the Nile River, Alexandria, Cairo, and here in the Middle East, here's Jerusalem. Okay, as we go up here, Cappadocia, Galatia, Lycia, here's Cyprus, Black Sea, here's Constantinople, Crete, Greece, Macedonia, Dalmatia, now that's Croatia now, Italy, of course, Sardinia, Corsica. So this is 555 what the Byzantine Empire looked like under Justinian the Great. So in 867, we see this map created by someone called Big Daddy 1204. And this is the Byzantine Empire in 867. And you can see how it's shrinking here, you know. Spain, Portugal, up through France. Here's Italy. There's some still here. This orangish red. Little Sicily, Italy, Greece. We're in Turkey and all that. But we're losing a lot of it here by in 867. You can see how that continues. This is 1180. About 1180. So it's the end of the Komnenian period. So the Byzantine Empire is in this kind of orange stuff around here. So you see Greece and modern day Turkey and some of that. But these are a lot of these areas are now different empires. Here over by North Africa and Tunisia and Morocco and Libya and all. It's the empire of the Almohads. This is the Kingdom of Sicily here by Italy. Hungary's up here. The Seljuk Sultanate here. The Zangid Sultanate here. Okay, but this orange part here, that's the Byzantine Empire in 1180. So this is a map of the Byzantine Empire and the Seljuk Sultanate of Rome over here before the First Crusade. So say 1095 to 1099. So up here we've got the Hungary and the Baltics and all. Italy, which they called the Kingdom of Sicily. There's the Black Sea. Here's this Seljuk Sultanate of Rum, the Mediterranean, and of course this purplish, that was what the Byzantine Empire was at that part, you know, with Greece and all that there. So this is a map by Latin Empire, and it shows after the Fourth Crusade, it's the Latin Empire and the partition of the Byzantine Empire after the Fourth Crusade, about 1204. Okay, so here's that Seljuk Sultanate of Rome again, the Latin Empire, and here's these other empires, Thessalonica, Wallachia and Bulgaria, Crete, Kingdom of Cyprus down here, and this stuff in green, here's Rhodes, Crete, Corfu, some of these in green, those are possessions of the Republic of Venice, and when they were acquired. These purple things here, that's the Latin Empire of Constantinople, okay, and then this pinkish color, orange pink, those are the Greek successor states of the Byzantine Empire, which go all the way up here and over here. So then as we get up to 1450, things have really changed, and this is Eastern Mediterranean here, just before the fall of Constantinople in 1450. So let's take a look. So down here, of course, it's Egypt, the Egyptian Mamluk Sultanate, Cyprus, Crete. All this yellow here is now the Ottoman Empire, from the Black Sea. Purple, this little purple stuff here, that's what's left of the Byzantine Empire. So you've got Venetian territories, Genoese territories, the Duchy of Naxos, the Knights of St. John, right here, and the big Ottoman Empire, and the shrinking Byzantine Empire here. You know, so the empire was actually dissolved in 1204 after Constantinople was sacked at the end of the Fourth Crusade, and the former territories were divided into competing Greek and Latin realms. They rebuilt Constantinople, of course, but just wasn't the same. You know, there were perennial wars for the 14th and 15th century. And when Constantinople fell in 1453, here to the Ottomans, you know, that basically killed it. You just have these little pieces left here, and that purple, that's the Byzantines. So, you know, this fall of Constantinople in 1453, sometimes that's used to mark the dividing line between the Middle Ages and what could be called the early modern period. So there's a new exhibition at the Cleveland Museum of Art where I live. It's called Africa and Byzantium, and it considers the relationships, mostly through art, between the northern and eastern African Christian kingdoms and the Byzantine Empire from the 4th century and beyond. Now, if you're fun with maps, viewer, you know that I'm always telling you how big Africa is. It's a huge continent. It's got 54 countries currently, and so when we look at this exhibit or consider Byzantium, only the north of Africa is covered. And why is that? So there's a reason for it, actually. Historically, the Romans, and later what we call the Byzantines, called only that small portion of the continent along the northern coast the word Africa. So to them, historically, that was Africa. That small portion along the northern coast, that was Africa. So let's take a look at this new exhibit at the Cleveland Museum of Art, Africa and Byzantium. So we're here again for another special episode of Fun with Maps, and this one we're back at the Cleveland Museum of Art, and it's the title of the new exhibit is Africa and Byzantium. Okay, Africa and Byzantium. And when you first come in, you know, you map lovers like me are going to see this big map, and well, let's take a look at it. So here's the map you see when you come in, and let's start up here. You know, you see the British Isles up there, there's Ireland, here's the Iberian Peninsula. Here you can see, you know, at Gibraltar, just how close Morocco is to the Iberian Peninsula there. There's Fez and Tangiers, look at that. And as we come over here, Italy, Sardinia, Sicily, the Adriatic, there's Greece, Athens, Crete, the Danube's up there, Turkey, in Asia Minor, Ankara, Constantinople, of course, now Istanbul, don't get me singing. I'll see the Caspian Sea, this Armenia here, there's Tehran, Tigris and Euphrates, Baghdad, Persian Gulf here. There's Damascus, the Jordan River, the Sinai Peninsula, there's Jerusalem, Cyprus, the Eritrea Desert. Here's the holy monastery of St. Catherine Sinai, which we hear about. Here's Medina, Mecca, all on the Arabian Peninsula here. There's Yemen, South Arabia, the Arabian Sea, the Gulf of Aden. Remember, we did a Fun with Maps on both the Suez Canal and the Horn of Africa down here. So here we see Ethiopia, we see Djibouti, Eritrea, Addis Ababa, of course, the capital of Ethiopia. Here's the South Sudan, Khartoum in Sudan, Central Africa with the Congo River. There's Lake Chad. Here we come through Western Africa, Volta River, and Timbuktu, and the Niger River, the Gambia River, Dakar, the big Sahara Desert here. And up here, of course, when we go from Morocco to the east, there's the Atlas Mountains, which we've seen before in Algeria. There's Algiers. Here's Tunisia, Tunis, Carthage, Sousse. And then we get into Libya and Tripoli and come back over here to Egypt. There's Alexandria, along the Nile here, Aswan, Khartoum and Sudan. It's an amazing map. It's really, you can just stare at it and get some perspective. You know, when you see Gibraltar, how close that is, or when you see down here across from the Horn of Africa to the Arabian Peninsula, just what a map. And when we zoom in here a little, okay, here's of course these things are all on a timeline. You know, it's the maps change over time. So here's a timeline showing, okay, the Roman Republic, Ptolemaic Egypt, the Roman Republic, Kingdom of Kush, the Aksumite Empire. As we come along, that's BC to 100, 300 or so, we start getting into the Byzantine Empire. Okay, and the Nubian kingdoms. Okay, and as we get up to 700, 900, 1100, here we get into the Empire of Ethiopia, the Empire of Mali, and this goes up the Ottoman Empire all the way up to 1800 there. It's a pretty impressive timeline. And here's the map of the Byzantine Empire here. So you see the purple there, up here, and over here, that's some of the, so here's our, you saw from the timeline what the different colors mean. So the Byzantines are up there to Italy and Asia Minor, coming down here into North Africa. Then you had the Umayyad Caliphate over here. And then as we go farther in time, okay, here's the Empire of Mali. Here's the Constantinople Empire, the Empire of Ethiopia, the Nubian kingdoms. Okay, now we see the Arabian Peninsula, the Western Desert, the Islamic polities. We still have some Byzantine up here, Byzantine Empire, all the way over to the Iberian Peninsula. It's a great map. And then as we go farther on in time, okay, same map, but Empire of Mali, Constantinople Empire, Ethiopian Highlands, and the Empire of Ethiopia. And here, all this green, you can see, is just the Ottoman Empire. It started this green over here, not quite as big, but by now the Ottoman Empire is all that green. This really gives you a perspective. Of course, the historic art that is the main draw, such as, here's a few incredible pieces here. This is a folio from a Quran in the early 1800s, and it's from Tunisia, and it's from the Musée National d'Art Islamique de Rakkada. So that's one item. This is a icon of the Virgin and Child flanked by angels and Saints George and Saint Theodore, and it's from the Holy Monastery of Saint Catherine in the Sinai Peninsula, right at the base of Mount Sinai. This is really something. This is a mosaic of a menorah from Tunisia. So, you know, you have the three Abrahamic religions there, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and they all are intertwined, and there's stuff from all of those faiths here. This is a man's crown from either the 400s or 500s from Nubia, Bolana, which, you know, now we call Sudan. This is a triptych, you know, 3 parts, triptych. The Virgin and Child, the Archangels, Michael and Gabriel, saints, and scenes from the life of Christ here. It was done in the late 1600s, and this was from the Empire of Ethiopia. And I'll stop after this one. This is one of my favorites because there's 160 or so pieces, and you should really visit if you can. But this is called a diptych, and it's the 12 Apostles and St. Paul, and it's from the Empire of Ethiopia. So, you know, if you're anywhere near Cleveland, Ohio in the U.S., check out this exhibit. It's really something to see. It's multi-countries, cultural, religion. It's really something to see. But when you hear about Byzantine or Byzantium, I hope this gives you a little idea. And you can see that map, how fluid it was over the years. So, until next time, I'm your host, Dan Hansen, and I hope you keep on having fun with maps.